All right. I am back.
What were we talking about other than the banging that's going on behind me?
Yeah, it's nothing quite like a carpeting getting installed during the episode.
It's signifying the deploying of the capital dollars happening in Atlantic City right now. I was inspired by the carpet in Tropicana that was removed from the marketplace slots area, and I said, I need carpet, and I need it to be the background noise for the next episode of the podcast.
Indeed. Nothing is better. I feel like we spent an entire episode talking about some new Bally's carpet like 150 episodes ago. So,
as long as they never replace the Wild Wild West carpet, it's good.
Howdy, it's Wednesday, November 8th, 2023, and this is episode 214 of Due for a Win, the Atlantic City podcast. I'm Kyle Eskin, joined, as always, by Craig Stone. What's good, Craig?
Chaos. Pure chaos.
I thought the answer was going to be nothing. But
I thrive in chaos, so it's good.
Is that true?
No, it's not true at all.
It doesn't seem like you at all.
No. I need some level of order. I can deal with like a lot of things happening, I think. But I need some certainty around the timing, and I have no certainty around timing for anything.
Grind to AC in 24 hours.
That's true.
That's certain, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, there's some sickness in the family right now, so hopefully that's not...
Good.
Not getting canceled here.
Love to hear it. Once again, Due for a Win has been canceled. By some terrible disease.
Cancel culture.
Mm-hmm.
Culture as in bacteria, not as in...
Indeed, yes. Yeah. Literally the cancel culture.
These are the jokes.
Amazing. This is why we just are Patreon millionaires shortly.
So this I think is the episode that I've least prepared for in terms of you having to do some prep in the document.
I want to say it was a very minimal amount of prep. I mean, I logged in this morning and I'm like, do I have to update some like financial document? And I'm like, no, it looks up to date. So I was like, came up with the always once never, which would you like to hear it?
Yes, I would like to hear it.
You know, I had to estimate some seasons or whatever, but this is, to honor you going to Atlantic City literally tomorrow. Always once, never. Time of year to go to AC. So we have three choices here. Winter, which I will call generously November through February. Summer, which is generously May through August. And then the shoulder months, kind of spring and fall. March, April, September, and October.
Oh, that's tough because
I thought it was a good question. So
the so obvious answer is always in the summer, but we don't actually go very often in the summer because it's expensive, it's crowded. I have said in the past that winter, I think I even wrote a blog post about
You have. That sounds right.
How winter is my favorite time to go to AC because I like how empty it is and how everything's so cheap and you can just walk into a restaurant. I think that's actually become less true since COVID ended. COVID being totally done.
I think it's a little less true too. I think also like a problem with winter that probably was not a problem in 2013 or whatever is just like so much stuff is closed in the winter now that
seasonal restaurants
open in the summer, right?
Yeah. Yes, I agree completely.
It was not that way at all 10 years ago.
I think I'm going to say winter into the ocean, totally contradicting my blog post from 6 years ago or whenever I wrote that. Mainly because of that, because of the seasonal stuff. Also because the weekends are still really crowded in the off season. I don't think it's like it used to be where...
I don't know if I'd go that far. I mean, I think it's going to be incredibly crowded when you go tomorrow because there's the insane conference happening down there or whatever. But I think that's abnormal just because of the conference.
Are you calling this right now winter?
I said winter is November to February. I figured that November was more like winter than March was, and I wanted it to be 4 months each. So
yeah, I think the shoulder months, September, October, and what are we saying? March, April are excellent months to go. Like the weather's very nice. You can still walk on the boardwalk. I think as more non-casino stuff becomes available in AC, the ability and niceness of walking around and going to things like Beer Garden and going to the Orange Loop, like you don't want it to be so ice cold for those things. Like those things are just much more enjoyable.
Yeah. Beer Garden's not great in like January.
Right. But like, do I really want to say once only for summer? Like that sounds crazy. I do still really enjoy any beach town in the summer. Do you have leanings which way?
Surprisingly, even though I came up with it, I didn't think about it that much. My gut feeling. So for me, I think summer's way too crowded, and I don't go to the beach anyway, so it doesn't affect me at all. And I think it's like borderline too hot half the time on the boardwalk for it to be a pleasant experience. But the only thing that holds me back is I feel like if we were ever to do like a big group trip to Atlantic City again, surely it would be in the summer, right?
Probably.
But given that that hasn't happened in a while, my leaning would be throw summer into the ocean. Oh, it's so close. It's so close between, because I do love the winter. I love how quiet it is. I do sort of love what I think you wrote about, say, 8 years ago when you wrote that blog post, the feeling that like the city is for you and there's like no one else really there. Oh, it's so close.
I like the holiday stuff up in the casinos in the winter too.
But given like what you said, like Tennessee Avenue Beer Hall, Beer Garden, those are just much more pleasant in the shoulder months. I would say always in like spring and fall, once more in the winter. Summer's going in the ocean. But I could be talked into always winter, like switching winter and spring and fall. Summer seems like the clear last place for me.
I don't want to throw any of them into the ocean. But I will say summer, I don't need summer always for sure. I don't think I would even want to be summer always. Because in this exercise, right, you're basically having to cram all your AC trips.
That's right, into 4 months.
Into 4 months.
I mean, technically, spring and fall, it's like into 2-month periods. Maybe it's better, you know?
And I wouldn't want to always go in the summer when it's super crowded. I already get beach stuff elsewhere. You know, I go to Ocean City. I feel like that's totally fine. I can go to other beach towns. I don't need AC to be my beach town, and I don't use it that way anyway. I'm talking myself into saying summer into the ocean also. I have so much fondness, like you said, for that experience in AC, especially like midweek in the winter if you can do it. And it's just nice and not crowded, and you can walk out on the boardwalk. Sometimes it's nice to step out onto the boardwalk into the frigid cold. I'm going always shoulder months. It's so tough. See, for you were struggling between...
I was struggling between always and once more, and you're struggling between once more and never again.
I have to do once more summer. I think I've got to get the like full experience one more time and just live with my nostalgia for the winter and know that I really enjoyed it. And that's what got me into Atlantic City, but things have evolved.
I mean, I have to say, like in the last year, maybe year and a half, I absolutely love the winter trip that me, you, and Taylor took last year. So great trip, man.
I do feel like we always get in a couple of trips in the winter.
Yeah, it seems like the best time for us to go, honestly. We always do 1 or 2 winter trips a year. I feel like, and like 0 the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I will say, certainly, in like 6-month periods, like we go much more historically, I believe, October to March than, let's say, April to September.
Certainly, I tend to, at least historically, have gone in January. And then I think you and I almost always get in a December, late November trip. Yeah. Agree with that. We're very comp focused though, so that makes a lot of sense.
And we are comp focused, and I do have to say the comps are certainly better in not the summer.
Yes, but I do not have comps for this weekend when I'm going.
It's tough.
Segue.
You're going to Atlantic City.
Yes. So I guess I should give a primer about what's happening in case anybody did not listen to last episode. I'm going to Atlantic City with the family, something I've never done before.
Yeah, you've never done it.
So my wife and both my kids have a 4-day weekend for the New Jersey Teachers Conference, which happens to be in Atlantic City, but we're not going for that. And when I first dreamed up this idea, the room rates were actually pretty low, including I could get comps at Ocean on Thursday night, Hard Rock on Thursday night. And I thought maybe demand would drop and I could get one of those two comped totally, but the opposite happened, and then Friday went totally sold out and Thursday skyrocketed. And the result is that I ended up booking at Showboat.
Nice.
Which has the advantage of putting you in the same hotel as the Lucky Snake and the water park, which is sort of the main reason we're going. I mean, I think my kids will love all of that, but I am slightly worried about the actual Showboat room and the stay there and the experience there.
I would be more than a little worried myself, I think, but...
Yeah. I was doing a very obsessive breakdown of the costs of everything, as you know I do.
Sounds right.
And I was going to book through the Showboat website because I'm just in the mode of always booking through the casino websites when I book in Atlantic City. And they had a discounted thing where it was like $119 for a family of 4, 4-pack of tickets to the water park for 1 day if you book a hotel stay. And I was like, well, that's way cheaper than booking just the water park tickets. This seems like a no-brainer. Except I went to book and we're going Thursday, Friday, Saturday, probably leaving midday Saturday. So I wanted the water park on Friday. And when I went to book, Saturday was the only option at the water park. So I called and said, hey, I just had a question about the add-ons because it seems like you can only get Saturday and I want to get Friday. And they just said, oh yeah, the add-ons don't work. You need to just book through the water park site. So I was sort of questioning that because like you can book, it's just for Saturday. And he was like, he acted like they did not work at all.
Like, I don't know what that means. Like, it's just like you put your money into like some toilet and it goes down and that's it?
I guess.
Surely that's not the answer.
I get the distinct sense that like the water park, the arcade, the hotel are just like very separate within Tower Investments.
And we had that experience when the arcade comped us drinks at the eatery.
Yes.
And like first they're like, no, you can't get anything free. And we're like, the arcade said we could have whatever we wanted. And there was like a ton of confusion. And then I guess they talked to someone on the arcade side and they're like, okay, you can have whatever you want.
Right. To the point of probably way beyond what the arcade people thought was going to happen.
Probably.
I was very annoyed about this. And I sent a message to like customer service and I didn't hear back. I got the sort of default, like, we'll look into this. And meanwhile, like prices were going up.
Uh-huh.
And so then I realized, like, why don't I look at hotels.com, which was cheaper than the Showboat site. And so it was like $55 Thursday, $183 Friday, plus all the taxes and fees. You know, there were different prices at all the different booking sites. But anyways, I booked at hotels.com because it was the cheapest. And then the water park has a Groupon. So I booked the family of 4 Groupon, which was $148.50 for Friday or Monday. It's more if you do Saturday, but we're doing Friday. And I realized that the $119 like add-on thing through the hotel gets taxed at the hotel rate. And so it's actually more than $148.50 because of the 16% or whatever the 13 point blah, blah, blah tax that's on it. It worked out to being slightly cheaper anyway than what it would have been to book directly through the hotel, but it's totally absurd that they haven't worked that out.
It's not that absurd. It's the Showboat.
It's also like you can only get one day, even if you're staying 2 nights. Like there should clearly be a sort of like add-on where you're just getting water park access for every day that you're staying in the hotel.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, Showboat. I'm nervous about it. I'm hoping it'll be fine. I'm not just nervous about like the age of the room. I'm nervous about like the check-in process, the service, like it's just everything. But I don't think my kids' expectations are all that high for a hotel. Like they don't care. They're not going to experience any of that stress, right? So
I mean, my kids are just always happy no matter what if we're traveling somewhere. So
Thursday, go in the morning, get there around lunchtime. Yeah, hopefully they'll let us check in at the Showboat, and then we'll probably go do some arcade stuff, go get dinner somewhere, which we haven't figured out where. And then Thursday night, we're going to Disney on Ice at Boardwalk Hall. My first ever event at Boardwalk Hall that I'm going to.
Yeah, I've never been in there.
So that was like a big reason. I'm sure my kids will love it, but a big reason selfishly for booking it was like, oh, Boardwalk Hall, like, let's go.
Yeah.
It was $20 tickets, which just seemed really cheap. And then I picked out 4 tickets and went to check out, and the final cost was $149.52.
That's not bad. It didn't quite double it. So I think I bought tickets on like, not Ticketmaster, but like StubHub or SeatGeek or something recently. And it was like 150% more expensive than what it was advertised as. Because I think they add the Ticketmaster fees because if they're getting the tickets from Ticketmaster plus like their own fees or whatever.
My favorite is that you can click view the prices with fees, and it'll show you what the prices with fees, and then you'll go to check out, and it'll still be like, oh, by the way, there's a $5 convenience fee. It's like, oh, I said show me the prices with fees. Just an awful experience ordering any tickets for anything.
We went to Disney on Ice last year. Kids had fun.
So my understanding is that it's only like a 45-minute show.
I think it was longer than that for us, but it wasn't terribly long. I feel like it was, 75 minutes or 90 minutes or something, but I'm not sure.
That would certainly be longer than 45. It was
45. Like Encanto and Frozen, I think, were the two.
Yeah, sounds like a very similar show, if not the same exact show.
Yeah, I think it was like 75 or 90 minutes.
Yeah, I think my kids will love it, so that's good. And then the next day we'll do the water park. We'll see how long the kids enjoy that. I have a feeling my son...
going to enjoy it for about 10 minutes.
Yeah. I think he can do most of the stuff, and I think my daughter can do everything, but I don't think she'll do the huge slides. And then, I don't know, beyond that, more arcade maybe. We could go to North Beach mini golf up around the boardwalk past Ocean if the weather holds up.
I think the weather, well, at least here, is supposed to be fairly nice. It's going to be like a little bit chilly, but I don't think it's supposed to rain or anything.
I could take my son to see all the guitar stuff at the Hard Rock Cafe.
Yeah.
I mean, at the Hard Rock Hotel.
Would he care? I mean, about like, oh, this is an outfit that Cher wore or whatever?
No, but he'd like to see
my children certainly would not.
Big guitars. He just wants to see like the guitar chandelier and like the big guitar outside.
Yep. I certainly have a picture of my son when he was 2, when we stayed in the Hard Rock Cafe, standing next to the big guitar outside. So
I don't think it'll be hard at all to fill 2 days with the kids. I mean, especially Lucky Snake, water park, Disney on Ice. My dilemma is over restaurants that are family friendly.
Mm-hmm.
My first thought was Sugar Factory, which actually has reservations open. My guess is the food's not good.
Yeah. I thought you've eaten there.
No, I've never eaten at Sugar Factory.
Really? What,
yes.
Have you only gotten cocktails there?
No, I've never gotten anything there. So,
have you talked about wanting to go?
Probably. Okay. Like when Hard Rock first opened.
All right.
And then there's Rainforest Cafe, obviously, is an option.
You got to.
Potentially. How crowded is Rainforest Cafe going to be at 5:30 before the 7 o'clock Disney on Ice show?
Probably pretty crowded, especially like, it seems like right up teacher's alley or whatever.
That's true. A bunch of like drunk teachers sitting on those animal
all
bars.
The teachers are going to be at like Tun Tavern or whatever. They're not going to make it that far away from the convention center.
Yeah, they'll be at Wingcraft and Tun Tavern.
Wingcraft and Tun Tavern you should not go to this weekend. That'll be mine.
So Hard Rock Cafe has a kids menu.
Mm-hmm.
And not only does it have a kids menu, but it is a Lionel Messi inspired kids menu. I don't know what that means, but supposedly if you order a menu item from the kids menu, it comes with a golden soccer ball. And I don't know if you know anything about my son, who is 5 years old. He is absolutely obsessed with Lionel Messi because we watched the World Cup and he saw him win the World Cup. And now he watches like YouTube videos of Lionel Messi highlights and he has a Lionel Messi Argentina jersey. So, like, the obvious answer is to go to Hard Rock and get this thing, and he can see, like, he can get a Lionel Messi paper menu that he can color in. My huge concern is, one, they don't take reservations on Friday and Saturday nights. So we'll go Friday night and have to wait forever, which would lead to nothing. If you
go at 4 or 5, it should be fine.
Yeah, well, obviously.
I mean, certainly me and my family would go at 4 or 5, so.
I feel like I would need to call ahead and say, do you actually have this golden soccer ball? Because if my son sees the golden soccer ball on the menu, a picture of it, or like a little advertisement for it, and it is not there, the trip will be over. Like, we'll have to just get in the car and drive him home. Because the amount of crying that will go on after that will be completely, whatever, like, unfixable.
Yeah.
And then that's like, when I end up going on eBay and buying the soccer ball anyway. That's what I'm told. That's good parenting. Just totally.
Just cave in every time.
Cave in every single time. Yep. Something's broken, just buy it, replace it. Kid loses something, just buy it to replace it. Just anything to just stop the crying.
Yeah, I agree.
And the complaining.
I see no downside to that strategy at all.
Exactly.
I don't see how that could lead to more crying.
No, never.
Okay.
Just train them to cry until they get what they want.
Mm-hmm.
I think I am going to try to do the Hard Rock Cafe for one of the dinners. I sort of want to try to do it's called like Lotteria.
Don't know what that
taco place that's up there. It's on the boardwalk. But I don't know if the kids will eat anything there. I have a feeling we're going to end up at Rainforest Cafe or at the Land Shark Bar and Grill or at the Atlantic City Eatery or the Brickers Burgers.
Did they not eat Mexican? We just went to, there's a brand new Mexican place within walking distance of my house. We just went to it in the old Applebee's spot, so you know exactly where it is. So
I think my daughter will eat stuff at a Mexican place. My son will just eat chips, and that's it.
It's fine. That can be dinner. You're on vacation.
That's true. That's a good point. It is vacation. The other big question I have is, once the kids are in bed, and presumably my wife is in bed, what am I doing?
Drinking yourself silly at the video poker bar at Ocean, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I was sort of leaning towards like just doing a totally non-gambling trip.
You're not going to do that, man. I mean, you could say that, but I don't buy it necessarily.
I would be much more likely to do it if the arcade was open late. But my understanding from Google is that the arcade closes at 11. What that means, I don't know. Do they turn off the machines? Can you not access them? I'm guessing any machine that doesn't need an attendant is probably still on, and if you really want to like wander through and play, you can. But like the bar will probably be closed at that point. Like you can't get any drinks.
Ocean, man.
I could just, buy a 6-pack of beer and read comics on my iPad and sit in the darkness and drink IPAs, but
you could just buy a 6-pack of beer and play video poker on your phone.
Oh, that's true too. I'll probably walk over to Ocean or Hard Rock. I probably should not put my card in either of those situations.
You gotta let them know you're alive.
I mean, if I want comp drinks, you gotta play on the card. Comp drinks at the video poker bar at Hard Rock is not an option.
Yeah, on Friday or so. You could go Thursday, and it's an option, right?
I could go Thursday night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just do Thursday night at Hard Rock, Friday night at Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Just strictly video poker, no slots.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea.
Probably end up playing craps until 4 a.m.
Probably not. But
So that's the plan. Full trip report. Next episode, probably
it'll
next
be
week.
good.
I'm excited. I'm really excited to treat the kids to it. I think they'll have a really good time.
So, this is going to be a great story for the podcast, but we were going to actually try to go because I knew you were going down that weekend because the kids are off and Megan, they're all off on Friday, but we couldn't set up anyone to watch our dog. So
no.
It was not going to happen. But yeah, we were going to surprise you and all hang out, but alas, no.
That sucks. Yeah, that would have been funny. That would have been cool, like get all the families down there.
Yep.
Well, we'll see how it goes, and maybe if it goes well, we can plan that for the future.
Yep.
There's also been discussion of you going to Atlantic City the following week.
Yeah, I think I'm going to Atlantic City for one night the following week, Friday to Saturday, which, by the way, are you going to Atlantic City for one night the following week?
I haven't even brought it up with my wife because at the moment I don't actually feel like going that Friday.
Oh.
So I would need to be home by 9 a.m. on Saturday.
I don't see what the problem is, man. I was told that as soon as you get a second car, there's just nothing stopping you from doing day trips all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I could do a day trip on Friday. I'm taking tomorrow and Friday off of work, and then I'd have to take another day off of work, which kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I would miss a hockey game that I don't really want to miss.
You don't have to take the day off work. You could pull a Dave, just get down there 10 p.m. on Friday and leave at 6 a.m. on Saturday.
Oh, that's true. I could get there, yeah.
Literally get there, go to sleep, wake up, and go home.
Yeah, it sounds great. I do get Caesars comped now.
Uh-huh.
Forum Tower only. Which, that's...
Perfect.
I mean, Caesars, I would say it's Caesars. Solo, Forum Tower, whatever, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think my mood about it would have to change drastically between now and then. Because to me, right now, I'm just is it worth taking leave, missing a hockey game, and waking up at 6:30 to drive home, or leaving late at night on Friday? Right now, not so much.
All right, I'll follow up with you later about it.
So do you have any idea?
None. I don't even know what we were doing. So we were going to go for 2 nights, Thursday and Friday, and then it was decided that we should not go Thursday night, A, because there's a Ravens game Thursday night, and B, because our friend Dave cannot go until Friday because he's going to the Ravens game on Thursday night. So
is he actually going?
I don't know. He wasn't going Thursday night, though, so
yeah.
I'm not really sure what's happening. We'll figure it out.
Okay. Another thing for next episode, because it'll be days away by then.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not worried about it. We'll go where we won't go, and it doesn't really matter either way. So Dave & Buster's has announced that it's opening on Monday, December 11th. I saw yesterday or today some tweet about how they need to hire 150 people or whatever for it.
That seems like a very short amount of time to have to hire
that many people. I agree.
Them. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about Dave & Buster's. I don't think we need to get too much into it.
Yeah, I'll never go.
Yeah, I'll never go to that one.
I'm glad it's going to be there.
Who do you think has better food, Dave & Buster's or the Atlantic City Eatery?
Dave & Buster's.
When was the last time you had food at Dave & Buster's?
15 years ago.
So I think it's gotten worse. It's been a while since I had it, but the last time I had it, it was barely edible. It
really?
Was atrocious.
I haven't eaten at a Dave & Buster's, in probably 15 years, but I always remember the food as being totally fine.
Yeah, TGI Fridays level food.
Yeah.
The last time I had it was when I lived in New York, so that was at least now 9 or 10 years ago, and it was legitimately awful. It was just really, really bad. And I have seen a lot of people complaining that the food had gone downhill, but I think the brand Dave & Buster's as a whole is on an upswing, so I don't know if that has translated to better food.
I feel like they're the trendsetter in this, whatever, we're going to do sell expensive food that's fine. It's not great, but it's totally edible. And then some very expensive ancillary activity, whether it be Top Golf or all the bowling alleys that are kind of doing this thing now. But Dave & Buster's was the first one of that with arcade games, I feel like. So the food being decent, I think, is a very important part of that.
Yeah. No, it was not decent.
The pitch is hey, this bowling alley is going to have much better food than the average bowling alley food or whatever, and we're going to make it up by charging $1 million an hour for the lane.
Yeah. Well, so Dave & Buster's though used to be very much this is for adults. This is the adult Chuck E. Cheese, and after 9 there are no kids allowed. And the last time I went to Dave & Buster's, which I think was in October, I randomly went on a day that I had a day off.
Sounds exactly like something you would do.
It's the one in Wayne, New Jersey.
Old podcast sponsor. Wait,
no,
Clark was the. I'm sorry.
It was just families everywhere. And it's very clearly like all the prizes are kid-centric prizes. Mm-hmm. Everything is definitely catering to kids more because, parents with money is who's going to arcades, not, drunk adults.
Only you.
It's just me, yeah. No, I am not the target demographic for Dave & Buster's. Sorry.
Anymore. Yeah.
Well, I guess I am with the kids.
Right.
But me solo, no. And I think they've realized that, and they advertise, like, have your birthday party at Dave & Buster's. But this is way more talking about Dave & Buster's than anyone should ever hear about. And what everybody really wants to hear about is data.
September data. 2023 was a 5 Saturday September as compared to the 4 Saturday September in 2022, which is important considering that Atlantic City went down about 2% from 2022 to 2023, which on its face seems not great.
Yeah, especially not great considering that Ocean was up 30%. And amazingly, month over month from August, which, obviously August is in the summer and a way better month, 0.00% difference. So close that they...
It's like, what is this?
It's like $1,000 apart.
$700 difference? $700.
Less than $700. 600 and something, $88.
600.
Like
yeah, amazing.
Like, how does that even happen?
Uh-huh.
But yeah, everybody else, Bally's down 17%, Borgata down 13%, Resorts down 11%.
Uh-huh.
Really, though, you made a note in the doc about Borgata.
Right. Well, you made a note that said that Borg and Hard Rock were like right on top of each other for revenue. And
yeah, they're
then
$8 million apart.
The MGM hack was announced, I think it was like September 10th, September 11th, something like that, which was obviously just a huge disaster for MGM. And like, to be honest, I'm surprised Borg did as well as it did, which as well as it did was being down 26% month over month and 13% year over year.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like Bally's down 17%,
right,
or Resorts down almost 11%, and Borgata with a hack is down 13%, like you got to feel pretty bad about yourself.
I do have to say, I looked into the documents and the luck, and Bally's and Resorts were both like quite unlucky this month, I think, and Hard Rock actually was as well, and they were still up 7%, which meant that I think some of that traffic that would have gone to Borgata normally did go to Hard Rock, and obviously some of it went to Ocean. But given that it's only like an $8 million difference between 2022 and 2023, and Borgata was down $8 million between the 2 years, like I think a lot of that change can be just attributed simply to the MGM issues that were happening. Yeah. So I'd say it's not a great number, but all things considered, it's not as bad as it initially looked.
Yeah, I mean, my initial thought was 5 Saturdays and down this much is terrible. But when you get Borgata losing 13%, and it's such an outsized portion of the market, right? Because it's
right, the biggest casino by far in terms of revenue.
It's going to make that drop look bigger. So yeah, maybe you're right, and I shouldn't be as worried about it as I was.
And we'll see what happens in October. I think if there's ever going to be a month that Hard Rock, if they have a really lucky month, and if Borgata has an unlucky month, which, by the way, Borgata's month was not unlucky at all. It seemed like quite average. Maybe Hard Rock can be number one in October. Because, I think certainly we talked about how we wouldn't go to Borgata, at least in early October still, because they were still dealing with the issues. I think it's mostly resolved now, but certainly last month it wasn't. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I would obviously be shocked if Hard Rock overtook
I would be quite surprised, too.
We would be able to claim victory from our first episode after Hard Rock opened, where we claimed we could see Hard Rock overtaking Borgata.
Yeah, and we'd be right. Surely, when I said that, I knew that MGM's IT practices were shoddy, so that was why it was going to happen.
Did we know, or did we make it happen?
Amazing. Who has the side of the bet that it's not going to be Borgata, Hard Rock, Ocean 1, 2, 3 every month this year? Is that me?
It's got to be you.
Surely I would hack MGM for that $5 for
you. That'd be great.
Amazing. No, at that point I would just hack, the DGE and change the numbers in the PDF or whatever.
Yeah, that seems a lot easier. Or even just go into our document and change them and be like, Craig, look.
Craig, I input the numbers for you. Just don't read anything else about what happened in Atlantic City.
Yes. Perfect.
Yeah. Would work every time.
So what about Q3 as a whole? Anything interesting jumping out?
Yeah, it's down like 1% from 2022.
It's
nothing too interesting. Only Ocean and Hard Rock were up, and I think Borgata would have been up if it had, somewhat remotely normal September, which it obviously didn't because of the hack. which it's kind of the same old thing. All the other casinos are going down slightly, and the big three are continuing to go up.
I think, unsurprisingly, if you've heard us talk about all the months in the quarter, all those months add up to the same percentages. Mostly, that is how percentages work, right? So there's totally unsurprising, Bally's down 6%, Borgata, down 2%, but probably mostly due to this last month. The numbers sort of line up, obviously, with what we've talked about. So there's nothing that surprising here. Only being down 1% year over year from Q3 of 2022 seems totally unsurprising. Obviously, resorts being down 10.5% and Tropicana being down 9% is not a good thing. Mm-hmm. The thing that really jumps out to me when I look at it, though, is when you get into these quarterly numbers, you really see just how big that gap is. It's one thing to say like, oh, Borgata made $54 million and Golden Nugget made 12. And like, that's obviously a massive, massive difference. It's like more than 4 times, like 4.5 times as much money. But like when you see it as Borgata made $205 million in Q3, Bally's made $45 million in Q3.
Right. Golden Nugget made 39.
It's just a massive difference. And the numbers just look so much bigger. Right? When everything has
like 5.5 times more.
Still has 8 digits, even though one's 13 and one's 54 or one's, 15 and one's 70. Like obviously the multipliers are big. But when you see one jump into like 200 million and one's still stuck under 40, and it's like, oh yes, these are the massive differences we're talking about between these casinos. And just kind of hammers home how much bigger like Borgata and Hard Rock and Ocean are than everybody else.
And literally something was being hammered home in the background while you said that.
It's, I'm very big now in my editing into imagery, like mental imagery in your heads, sonic imagery. Yeah.
It's like, the secret or whatever. If you believe hard enough in the hammering home, it'll happen.
I had an idea a while ago in the podcast that every time I mentioned a Wonder Woman machine, it would play the like little like Wonder Woman. But then I just have never followed through with it. And I think I lost that little snippet.
It's for the best that you didn't follow through with that.
I need a soundboard. with Wonder Woman, some hammering, some like slot, like ting, 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 slot machine things.
Awful. All right. So I think with that out of the way, surely on the next episode, I think the next October report comes out on Monday, so we'll probably be able to get to that, depending on how much you have to talk about on your trip report.
Oh my goodness, so much.
Yeah, indeed. You want to do a quick mailbag question? Why don't you pull something up and we can talk about it? Which is in its own document that I will never open, so.
Okay. So I will bring up a question that Pat G had.
All right.
Since we've talked a lot about the Hook on this show, which I've been to twice and you've been to 0 times.
That's right.
Which we did actually get an email from Tom L saying that he went, I think, on a Thursday night a couple weeks ago, and it was very sparsely attended. Whereas I went on a Saturday night, and it was very, very crowded.
Both times, right?
Yes. Well, the first time I went was the Saturday 7 o'clock show, and it was not very crowded. In the summer, even. So I was a little
But then you went to the
it.
Saturday 9 o'clock show this time,
yes.
Right?
Not too surprising, weekday off season. But a little bit surprising just because how crowded it was when I went on the Saturday. But anyways, Pat G asks, do you see any other casinos pursuing a show along the lines of The Hook? Do we know if The Hook is successful or no? I really enjoyed it and think it's the kind of Vegas-esque show we need more of in AC. What do you think?
It's hard for me to draw the line on like what is Hook like and what isn't. There are some, regularly running shows at a bunch of casinos. I know we've talked like specifically about Burlesque, which I think is probably somewhat similar to The Hook at Borgata. Yeah, The Hook is certainly like more professional seeming to me, at least from what I've heard about it. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, there are the Sunday shows at Hard Rock and I think Resorts. Mm-hmm. They run a show every Sunday, but that's not really quite the same as like a real,
it's not quite the same.
Frequently running weekends, a show that's meant to be a draw to the casinos.
Right. You mean acjokes.com isn't a draw to the casinos?
No, it's a deterrent. It's a deterrent from being on the boardwalk.
It sure is. Or like walking through the quarter and just always being harassed about going to acjokes.com by some dudes.
Yeah, in a little kiosk, that little like...
Oh no, usually they like stand in the middle of the quarter and just like harass people about going to their show.
Oh, when I was at Trop last time, they're in like a storefront, but it's only like 2 feet deep.
Really?
So they're like in a little phone booth. It's weird. Anyways.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this, obviously, the first time I saw The Hook. Historically, Atlantic City has had some sort of shows like this. Like, I think Bally's or Resorts. I think Bally's used to have the, like, celebrity impersonator, like, singer impersonator sort of show. Mm-hmm. I think there's been more of that kind of stuff in Atlantic City, probably even before we went, and there has not been much of it. If the hook is just hugely successful, I could see another casino doing a sort of like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday run of just ongoing shows where that you can always go see the show, but it would have to be a draw, right? It can't just be like, here's the burlesque show.
We're going to comp just absolutely everyone to.
Right. It would have to be actually a draw.
Does Caesars comp to the hook ever? Do you know?
I don't know. I expect if you're a high enough roller, but
just not to the likes of us.
Yeah, not to me. And yeah, I could see sort of like a broad, like I've thought, like, Jersey boys, I thought would just do really well given the clientele of Atlantic City, like Jersey people who are of an age that really like Frankie Valli music. I think it's a really good show too, but, we haven't seen any of that in a really long time, and I would love to see it. Like, I just think it adds so much to the city. The other thought I had is, Spiegel World is obviously opening a new show in Vegas. It'll be their fourth show in Vegas, I think. Yes, fourth, because they've got Absinthe, Opium, Atomic Saloon show, and now they're opening Disco show at the Link. I could see a situation where it's so successful at Caesars that they do another similar kind of concept at Tropicana or Harrah's.
But can you, given the fact that you said it was, pretty empty apparently on a Thursday night?
Right. I mean, that was when I saw it really crowded on the Saturday. And I was like, this is doing such gangbusters. Like, this would be amazing.
I think this all depends on how the hook does, right? Like, how much staying power it has. If people are still interested in going 6 months from now, when, business starts to pick up again for the spring. I mean, I think that's going to tell a lot. Like, if it is a success and if it is something that Spiegel World finds, like, financially reasonable to do, like, I see no reason that there wouldn't be something else like this, either by Spiegel World or by someone else, some Cirque show or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I would love it. I'm a little skeptical. Obviously, it's like sort of my pipe dream thing that would happen, but
it's tough partially in Atlantic City because it's just like so seasonal there too, right? Like, you're going to do something, but like, that 5 months out of the year, 6 months out of the year, maybe 8 months out of the year, it's just going to be this black hole.
And the other 4 months, you don't really need to attract people to go there. Like, people are going anyway.
It's going to be everything's going to be to capacity in the summer.
So yeah, I mean, my initial thought was like, I could see a summer only kind of deal, but like, why would you invest
money to get people to come in the summer when it's going to be full? Yeah.
Although, I mean, going back to the data, right? Like, you look at the data and you can say it's flat, but you do have all these lagging casinos, right?
If Resorts wants to do a show like that in the summer, it would help them, I'm sure.
Right. And even Tropicana, their gambling revenue's down, although I expect that they're like at capacity most nights. It's a huge hotel. But yeah, I mean, I could see them sort of saying like, we're going to gain market share by doing this, or Harrah's, which I think used to be much higher on the totem pole in Atlantic City than it is now. Like, I could see them trying to have an attraction that level and just like fight for the market share in Atlantic
I think
City.
Harrah's is like the perfect place to have a big show like that. Honestly, if Caesars brings in another one, I would think Harrah's would be where it should go, honestly, because I think they need to help a little bit more than Trop.
Yeah, I would love it. I hope it happens. I mean, I'm not holding my breath, but
no, I it all just depends on. I think let's wait and see. Over the next 9 months how the hook does, and that'll tell us a lot about if it's going to happen, if it's going to expand or not. But anything that we can do to make the city a bit less seasonal, it's like it's kind of like the chicken and the egg problem, right?
Yeah.
These things would be more realistic if the city was less seasonal, but if the city was less seasonal, then that would make these more realistic to put in and financially make sense. So, I don't know.
Right.
Someone's got to take a chance and do stuff like this, like Spiegel World has, and I hope it works out.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to what we were talking about with the video from 1986, right? Of like, oh, well, the casino is not going to invest anything in making the town nicer, but like in the long term, if they do invest to make the town nicer, it makes the town nicer and makes more people want to come. Mm. So that's sort of like the business dilemma that any business has to have. But obviously I would love it. And after I went the second time, I was like, wow, the word of mouth has like really come out about the show. The positive reviews have come out. People are coming to Super Frico. People are coming to the hook. And then I got the email from Tom L about how dead it was on a Thursday. And I was like, that's not really surprising because it's a Thursday in whatever, late October, early November, but it's not a great sign. Like, does it mean that they need to go down to one show on Thursday nights and other, Sundays? I think they already have gone down to one show on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it kind of took the wind out of my sails a little bit, I have to say.
Well, thank you very much for the question, Pat G. And I know there's a few people that have been waiting in the mailbag for a while, and we will get to you soon, the likes of Refrigerator P and some others. But keep sending those mailbag questions in, too. It's something we enjoy doing. So,
yep.
All right. If you want to reach out to us or any of our other listeners, you can do so at our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/due4a-win, and certainly not at our Reddit, which is going to be closed down, apparently. You can find all of our great content at due4win.com. Reach out to Craig on Twitter at due4win or me at Kyle Askin, and send Craig questions to be answered maybe on air to due4win@gmail.com. Any last words, Craig?
Not maybe on air. They will be answered on air. Well, probably.
Unless it's, not a question, or it's something that, you just want to shoot a sentence back to them or whatever. Or just, the things that have been sitting in the mailbag for a year and you've probably just ignored.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we get questions that have sat in the mailbox so long that they've already been answered. Like a couple of Refrigerator P from Twitter's questions are, will either of you ever stay at the showboat? And would you go see the Hook again? Which we've obviously answered on this show. So,
yeah.
We still have a lot more questions.
All right,
and
Refrigerator P, we're going to get to your questions next week.
Okay. Well, the trip report next week.
Next week, yeah. Are we going to put out another podcast next week, Craig?
Yes, I think we have to.
All right. So we will see you all next week.
Bang, 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 bang.